year, so he's done a lot of different volunteer work all over Northside with a lot of building partners. But he did work at Chandler Middle School. He got very interested in working with middle school students, and when Chandler Middle School closed, he transitioned over to Henderson, which then became our middle school partner. And I'm going to let you tell his story about how he started a technology program at Henderson. So this is Dominique.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's brown bag titled Our Voice, Perspectives by the Students of Henderson Middle School. These are our students here in front. As mentioned, my name is Dominique Simon. I'm a senior here at the University of Richmond, and together with 3 other students, we started Voice for the World. And those students are Jiko Leah, Roseanne Gutierrez, and Fries Gutani. Voice for the World is a technology initiative and a computer literacy program, but before I get into it, I would actually like to thank the people that made today and made the program possible. Ms. Cassie Price, who you just heard from, she's our community initiatives and program manager in the Center for Civic Engagement. Without her guidance, dedication, support, and just overall good spirit, the development and implementation of our program would not have been possible. Thank you. Dr. Shaw is here, Dr. Kelly Shaw. She is a computer science professor at the University of Richmond. She graciously offered to take her time to come in and teach the students Atlas programming, and I would like to thank her as well. The staff at Henderson Middle School, and especially Ms. Rosemary Wiegand. She is the Communities and Schools Site Coordinator for Henderson Middle School. And if you've ever seen or heard of the movie Waiting for Superman, she is definitely a superwoman at Henderson Middle School. And of course, our volunteers that take their time every Monday and Wednesday afternoon to come to Henderson and help the students in their instruction. Of course, nothing would be possible without our volunteers, and I'd like to thank them as well. The concept behind Voice of the World started after a serious concern was noted, and that is the gap between those with access and knowledge of technology and those without it. And the most important part of this dynamic is the knowledge. Whereas access is being addressed by computers and technology in libraries and schools and community centers, and usually offered for free, the knowledge of how to effectively utilize those technologies is not. And sadly, it is something actually taken for granted. Just take a time to imagine if you did not know how to use a computer. How would you write your papers? How would you fill out a job application online? Actually imagine what kind of jobs don't utilize technology in some way, shape, or form. That gap is called the digital divide, and it is seen globally, where 80% of the world's websites, most popular websites, are in English, and yet only 1 in 10 people in the world speak the language. It is seen in Africa, where the digital divide is not called the digital divide, but the digital abyss. It is seen here in America, where about $7 billion a year is spent on technology, and yet only 16 to 18% of teachers say they feel comfortable using technology in the classroom. The first goal of Voice of the World hopes to combat the digital divide by utilizing and giving instruction in computer literacy. But the second goal of Voice of the World is actually something that we want back from our participants, and that is their voice. We want to hear from the people in our program, and we want to know what challenges and issues they are concerned with. Most importantly, we want to know how we can help. That is where today's brown bag comes in. Now, the students of Henderson Middle School have shown a dedication and resolve not really known to me when I was a student in middle school. Upon asking them what kind of program they would like to implement in middle school, what kind of challenges they face, they rose to the challenge. They deliberated, they discussed, and they created the presentations that you're about to see. And most importantly, they would like to thank you for being here. By being here, you're giving them a chance to develop their public speaking skills. Now, believe it or not, in America, most people fear public speaking more than any other fear. I don't know why this is, but we have a deadly fear of public speaking. These students have risen to the occasion and prepared these presentations for you. And most importantly, by being here, you're helping to implement social change. So our program will begin with 2 reflections from student volunteers, followed by our middle school students' presentations and a time for questions. And lastly, I would like to thank each of you guys here today. Your presence and your support gives character to the voices that we're about to hear. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ronald Pritchard, a sophomore here at the University of Richmond. And a little bit about myself. I came from Burnsville, Virginia, small town, not as developed. So I really wanted to find an opportunity to get within the small community and make a change. And with Ms. Price and Dominique, I found an opportunity in Voice of the World. And it's just been an honor to work with the kids, Jazz, all of them. It's just, we've seen them progress throughout the semester. I kind of jumped on mid-semester, so it was great progress. And to see them develop and develop their programs and their computer skills, it's just been great. And I'm kind of make this quick. I got class at 12, so I just want to thank you all for being here, and you all really enjoy the programs, presentations. And I would like to bring up Mr. Marcus Berkeley. He's a student at Virginia Union University.
Good morning. As he said, my name is Marcus Berkeley. I'm a student at Virginia University. And I just want to comment on what Dominique said. I really enjoyed teaching these kids. They learned a lot. Like he said, how to learn how to do a job application, stuff like that, online. It taught them a lot of technology. So I really enjoyed working with them, and I look forward to next semester. I want to thank Dominique and Ms. Wingate for allowing me to be able to volunteer and work with them.
So this first presentation is focused around somewhat of a controversial topic in the public school system, teenage pregnancy. While the issue certainly is not off our radar, we think that it does need to be addressed. And I think the fact that these students have noted that this is an issue and come up with I think, a very good solution to deter teenage pregnancy speaks volumes to their maturity and their dedication to fellow students. So first, I would like to welcome Markel, Unique, Indonesia to the stage. We'll hear from them to present their program.
Good afternoon. Baby Thinking Over program presented by Markel Ben.
Hello, my name is Markel and I'm in the 8th grade.
Unique Congress in the 7th, and Indonesia-middle.
Hello, my name is Denasia and I'm in the 7th grade. Baby Thinking Over program is basically about trying to increase the rates of teen pregnancy. But we will have newborn dolls to show how it is.
The reason why after-school program is to reduce teen pregnancies and to show teens how their life would be if they got pregnant.
The effects of teenage pregnancy. The effects are you will not be able to graduate with your fellow classmates, and also you will have a ton of responsibilities to provide food and shelter for you and your child.
Did you know that girls aged from 15 through 19 in Virginia are ranked 21st in the country for teen pregnancy? The race got so high that John Marshall High School even had a down daycare for their students' children.
The ratio of teen pregnancy from 1998 through 2007. As you can see, that Virginia is blue and it's decreasing, but it needs to decrease more. And also, the black is the national level as it decreased since 1998, but it's decreasing.
The program will be based at Henderson-middle school and other various spaces that the program goes on. We will put you in couples. You can choose your own race of the baby, and it's limited to anyone even if you do not attend Henderson.
And that baby's right there is newborn. The materials are a pacifier, reborn dolls food, baby bag, diapers, cribs, toys, strollers, car seats, and a reborn doll.
So as you can see, we wanted to do this program so we can drop the teen pregnancy rates. Thank you.
Great.
My name is Paul Staples. I'm a freshman here at the University of Richmond. Our next group is a group of talented middle schoolers. They wanted to talk today about the the benefits of proper career planning early on in education. So without further ado, I need Joy Jess.
Hello, my name is Jazz Thompson, I'm in the 8th grade.
And my name is Joy Best, and I'm in the 8th grade. And our program is Steer Your Career to prepare students for their future.
Here are some reasons why we think that we should have steer your career in our school. We don't get a lot of knowledge on careers.
We have a career investigation class at Henderson Middle School, but it doesn't really teach much about careers. It just shows you how to budget and everything.
So many young adults are on the street. A lot of kids skip class instead of going to school and doing the right things that they know they should. And it's also used for direction.
These are some things you should expect in steer your career. Learning about different job opportunities, start building professional business relations with men and women who have different occupations, and experiencing hands-on training.
Here are some things that we will be learning in steer your career. Resume building, as in how to write a resume. Basic job training, how to get a job, keep a job. Communicating skills, staying communicated with your boss and fellow colleagues. Team building skills.
How to learn how to work as a team and do stuff together and that.
And team leadership skills, how to be a leader.
We will also be building real knowledge through professionals and bringing in men and women of different occupations, such as doctors, lawyers, forensic scientists, business managers, teachers, police, and veterinarians. We will bring in these people because they have different occupations instead of like the regular general students.
Here are some career programs currently in place. The University of Richmond has a career development center. John Michael High School has a career class, and Fairfax County Public Schools have career classes. These are up there so that you know that we are now the only people who have career preparation programs.
So you see, we really need steer your career at our school. So many kids will know about a career and not wait till the last minute to pick a career and have direction. Thank you for your time.
I'm a first year here at University of Richmond, and I'm a volunteer Voice of the World. And lastly, 3rd and 8th graders will be presenting a proposal for henderson-middle schools to have cleaner bathrooms and healthier lunches, as well as students' own development of healthier minds and lifestyles. This group seems very aware of their environment and their own health. They address huge concerns in society today, such as childhood obesity, plus they touch on their fellow students' negative actions that they witness on a daily basis. This group's overall proposal seems fitting to their school and realistic for implementation. Without further ado, here is Brianne, F.A. Candia.
Hi, my name is Ryan Alter and I'm in the 8th grade.
Hi, my name is Eva and I'm in the 8th grade.
Hi, good morning. My name is Mia and I'm in the 8th grade.
The presentation that we're going to do today is a healthy school body environment.
Healthy bathrooms, spa here. Cleanliness. We need to clean our floors, walls, and ceilings. Why? Because of the germs, the safety, and respect of our custodians. So we would like our bathrooms, because have you ever been to a gas station and you do not want to wash your hands or use the bathroom? Our school is becoming that dirty gas station. Here are some facts. Toilets can contain a wide variety of bacteria and viruses. Bacteria and viruses that can be found in public restrooms include strep throat, staphylococcus, hepatitis A virus, and common cold virus. Down there is a website where we got them.
More facts. Here are some more facts about germs in bathrooms. Lactose-sanitary toilets kill nearly 2 million people, mainly children, per year.
Replace daily. We need to replace our toilet paper, bar soap, soap dispensers, and paper towels. Why? Because we keep our materials to keep our daily.
Replace. Sinks, mirrors, and making stairs. Why? The toilet is old and rusty and dirty, and since the toilets are leaking, students can slip and fall and hurt themselves and could be fatal.
Here is a checklist. Have a monitor check on the restrooms at different times during the day to check the stalls, walls, sinks, stairs, floors, and floors, because during the day, kids go in the bathroom and mess with the toilets. So, I make the bathrooms, and so teachers and can check the bathroom to see whether
Consequences. Depending on the level of need, there's school suspension, out of school suspension, after school suspension, how the custodians clean the area if they messed up, and school service. So that means that to help the student know that keeping the bathroom clean is not a joke, it's real serious.
It's a clean thing to do. A healthy body can lead to a healthy mind and the Olympics.
Healthy mind and body part two.
These are ways to have a healthy mind. Mental exercises, use your brain, crossword puzzles, read puzzles, educational movies, word puzzles, and movies.
Dietary balance. The cafeteria will serve healthier meals and also have a better variety of choices for vegetarians. You see, here at Henderson, there are a limited amount of vegetarians, but they still need a better variety because there aren't that many. Even the salads include meat. Here is the cycle of from a healthy child to an obese adult. You start as a healthy child, you watch television without any study or activity. Then you turn mildly obese. It gets hard to walk up the stairs, and you gain an extra 10 pounds, and you're moderate. You gain an extra 20 to 50 pounds, and as you can see, no one wants to kiss you in a little cartoon. And you're severely obese. Then you gain some extra stuff, and you turn into an obese adult, which can give you coronary artery disease and diabetes.
All in all, a healthy mind and body results in a healthy life school home in the near future by my author, Ife Sampson and Nina Williams.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Roseanne Gutierrez, and I'm a junior here at the university. So let's all give the students at Henderson Middle School a round of applause once again for our work throughout the semester. As a University of Richmond volunteer, our goals are to learn about the Richmond community outside of the university, be more engaged with our partners in the community, and also utilize the knowledge we gain at these sites to improve the well-being of our very own community. I'm sure that all of us in this room want to make an impact in this world in some way, shape, or form, or else we wouldn't be sitting here and have taken the time out of our day to listen to these students. We, however, must take small steps in reaching these goals. We can't just assist all those in need at once. So let's start with what's attainable, what's close to us, our very own Richmond community. This is why listening to the personal stories of students from one of our volunteer sites, Henderson Middle, is imperative. In planning the curriculum for Voice of the World's program this semester, we volunteers thought it would be a great idea to hear the perspectives of the students in regards to their school and community, the positives, the negatives, the improvements that they themselves would like to contribute. By listening to their stories and their voices, we can get a glimpse through the lenses of the students, begin to understand their issues, and further delve into the larger societal issues that they're addressing in hopes of creating social change. So I would like to leave you all with a quote by Albert Einstein. Nothing that I can do will change the structure of the universe, but maybe by raising my voice, I can help the greatest of all causes. So I would like to thank you all again for coming here and listening to the students, If you would like more information about Voice of the World, there is an email distribution list at the back that you can sign. Thank you, and have a good day.
So I know typically Brown Bag is supposed to leave plenty of time for questions. So if there are any questions about Voice of the World, the digital divide, and especially if there are any questions of the Henderson students, what they would like to see implemented in their programs, anything of that nature, we'd be happy to answer any questions.
How were students selected for the program?
Students were asked to fill out an application. When we initially advertised at the school, I don't know if it was just our likable personality or the bowls of candy that we had in the cafeteria, but I think it was almost 80 students signed up for the program actually, and only maybe about 12 returned applications and permission slips signed by their parents. We've had the problem with getting students and retaining the students is just kind of trying to keep their interest. So now we're down to, I guess, the regular students that we see here today is what we can do with that. Yeah.
So now that the students have prepared these presentations and practiced them, is there someone at Henderson that they can give these presentations to and maybe they get to implement these ideas that they have?
That is a very good question. I would have to maybe defer to Ms. Rosemary.
As I sat here listening to them, I was just amazed by all of you all recognizing the issues that we have, and it has made me think in so many different ways that several of these things that you commented on, we definitely we could start implementing them. So I think it's just an incredible, an eye-opener for me. I mean, I knew their topics, but you all have just done an amazing job laying out the logistics of what's needed next. So I'll go back to Ms. Turner, and maybe the students could do their presentations with the principal. I think that would be key. Yeah. Well done.
And also, it is very easy, of course, to build it to get involved in Henderson. So if maybe you or a student volunteer would like to pick up on one of these projects and talk to the students more about it, that would also be very helpful to them.
I was surprised about the fact that the teenagers can graduate. I homebound for Chesterfield County for a while, and on the homebound, a lot of the students were pregnant, and I would teach them their regular classes at the home till they could go back to school, and I thought they could graduate in Chesterfield. Is this a rule in Richmond, they cannot graduate? Or were you just saying most of them don't?
I think what the student said was that they couldn't graduate with their friends.
Correct.
Because they would be on a different schedule then. So there are programs.
Richmond City has homebound as well, and so yes, many of the students that are pregnant and have a child, they do end up graduating. Typically, it's not on time, but we do have the same programs in Chesterfield and Henryville have.
But the homebound would keep them up to par.
It should, yes, just depending on how much time the mom takes off with the child and things like that. So sometimes it's right on track, and sometimes it could be a little off.
But I was surprised how many students, when I did do Chesterfield, were out for that reason. A great number of them.
Yes, it's definitely not a city issue. It's a county issue, city issue, statewide issue.
And as you can see from the graph, with the national level, it was decreasing for a time, and actually it's been on the rise, which is actually pretty scary.
Yeah. These presentations should also be put on the
Definitely. The ideas behind Voice of the World are still kind of in the works, but what we did want to have implemented is the ability for Voice of the World participants, especially the students that go to John Marshall or go to nearby high schools, because John Marshall is right next door, to then come back and help middle school students then in their instruction, so they can kind of come back and serve as instructors later. Of course, this is also kind of bubbling around in people's brains, but we did want to offer them to kind of further their involvement with Voice of the World, and then later be able to put it on a resume and kind of elaborate on it. Yeah.
What are the main sorts of things the volunteers do with the students on Monday and Wednesdays?
The main focus of our program is keyboarding, the typing. We spend a lot of time on that. These presentations took up the last 2 weeks of our program, and we'll have 2 more weeks after this. We also, Dr. Shaw came in for 2 Mondays and did Alice programming. So they made, at the Alice software to make animations and kind of interactive animations. So that was a lot of fun. We also go over Microsoft Office, Microsoft PowerPoint. So they make sure that we know how to correctly format our Microsoft Office Word documents. So a big thing for them. And next week we'll probably be doing some kind of internet segment. So how to use the internet besides checking email and playing games, but also kind of researching for papers, looking up jobs, or specifically scholarships. Which would be very useful. And of course, we ask the students every semester at the beginning what they would like to see kind of implemented. There's been mention of trying to see how a website is made, so we're thinking about that. There's mention for computer games, which is why I brought in Dr. Shaw to kind of show the basics about that, but of course it's much more elaborate. So there are things that I think.
Well, I need to go to Voice of the World for public speaking skills, but I do have to say, I just cannot thank U of R enough for what they've done for Henderson and for our students. And Dominique came to me last year, and I deal with lots of people coming, and they're like, I want to do this program, I want to do this program, and I'm always very enthusiastic, and after a couple of months, they just disappear, and that's just something I know nobody likes. And Dominique, you've just done this amazing job of building this program and making it really sustainable at Henderson and for the students, and the level that you've taken the kids to is just remarkable. I mean, today I'm just like really in awe of what you've done. And all the volunteers. I mean, I see so many of you that interact with so many different programs, and I just cannot thank you for what you do for our students and the value that you provide. And I'm just so pleased. Thank you for everything you've done.
Last year, didn't most people apply so they could try and win a laptop?
So Voice of the World offers, we kind of do an incentive reward system. So the more lessons that they kind of complete, the more times they come, the more activities they finish, they complete, the more points they get. So last semester the grand prize was a laptop. We were able to offer Ryan a laptop actually because she got the most points. This semester, I had more difficulty than I imagined tracking down somebody to donate that laptop. So this semester, we decided to go with a gift card instead until maybe the program is back up to speed. But we were pleased to offer Ryan a laptop, and I gave that she's trying to make a website on it maybe.
For Voice of the World, right?
Yes, for Voice of the World.
How many, I'm just curious, in the science labs here at the University of Richmond, if there are efforts to clone you so that you can grow?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not so much of a science person. But talking to Dr. Lesson about that. She's definitely involved in Henderson as well. We'll talk to her. If there are no other questions, I would like to give the students, especially, another round of applause. This has been
So what suggestions do you have? What would you like to see us do? I mean, if we could get more U of R students out there, what would you like the program to do next? What would you be interested in doing? What would draw you to it next time? What do you hope to do?
I would like a program with people from it, but they would also help us with community service so we could get into the colleges that we want to.
Interesting. So you think doing community service would be something that you'd like to have experience with because that will help you get into the college that you'd like to go to? Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Great. What else? Did you have something too? Does someone else have another thing? Would you like to learn more about getting into colleges? I mean, how did you know that was a way that was appealing to colleges?
Because when I was little, I kept looking up things about Harvard and Roman and Maryland.
And you saw that they did a lot with community service? That's a good way to find out.
And Cassie does a great job drilling it into children's heads of how they can get into University of Richmond and how important it is.
Has anybody ever heard of the digital divide before? people should.
There's also a great book called Stuck in the Shallow End, which I don't know if you've read it or not.
I've looked over in my research. Do people agree with the importance of it? I know there's a big debate about offering access to technology, but the knowledge part about it has kind of been overlooked, especially because it's so hard to implement and kind of tied together with a lot of different types of education. Does anybody have any thoughts about that? Yes, please.
My grandmother's really old, and she's from Cuba, so she has a lot of friends back there. And she's talks to us all the time about how she wishes she would use a computer or know how to work cell phone or whatever, so she can connect back with them and communicate. And it's kind of like a lot of our communication is over the internet or over phones or over technology, and when people don't know how to use it, we lose those relationships and those connections and things like that.
Completely agree, and that kind of speaks to the goal of Voice of the World is not just to serve students, but also different groups that will need technology instruction. So next semester, we're hoping to expand to refugee and immigration services. So while they're learning English, they're also learning computer skills and have job application skills, things that we do online that we kind of take for granted, but people that have had exposure to it would not necessarily know, like kind of being left out of it.
Would you consider expanding to the University of Richmond and teach old
staff
Yes, there's actually, I used to work in human resources actually, and I would help a lot of people who come in and fill out applications online because the job application process for the University of Richmond is all online. You cannot fill out a paper application. So if you don't know kind of how to work the site, how to type, you can be there for a very long time. And so helping people who came in with that, I think there's a very big demand for it actually.
Here at University of Richmond, there's the Osher School too, over 50, and they teach on PowerPoint, little mini classes, not very expensive that you can take. And free at the Richmond Public Library, they have Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. They offer the Richmond Public at the main, usually at the main library, sometimes at the branches.
But talking about the digital abyss and like in African countries, I do ESL tutoring on campus, and one of my students is a staff member at U of R, he's from Sudan, and it's just like he was telling me like how difficult it was for him to get on the computer and like really understand what he's doing. It's really hard for him to type and email and everything, and I think this program, like, if it's really, I mean, it seems fantastic. I'm really impressed. I think it's awesome. And kids are awesome. But just like maybe connecting with some of the ESL tutoring that we're doing, like to improve English, but also like helping the technological skills that are really necessary to do anything in the U.S. for
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a great idea, especially catering to the different groups, to the different needs they have.
Yeah.
So for students, it would be kind of coupling technology with education. With the refugees, it would be kind of adapting to American culture, have fun taxes.
And also, it's for community service, you know, for middle school students who have been speaking English their whole lives. You could work with older people who are from other countries who have problems, you know, but they don't really know English. So you're helping to teach ESL or English just as a second language, and that helps with community service if you're interested in getting into colleges and you know want to build up that rapport. And then you're also helping people learn how to use technology. It can be like a give and take.
And for the students of Henderson-middle school, with the digital divide, it's actually been noted that a lot of people aren't online because there's not enough content for them online, so they don't really have a reason to get online. So I know that when I give you guys free time, you'll be on email, kind of chatting with each other, or sending each other emails, Joy's playing a jazz, or playing games. But besides that, either people don't know about the content that's available for them, or they just don't have any incentive to be on there. So their fellow families, their friends, they're not online with them. Their communities don't advertise things online. So if we do kind of push for more content geared towards groups that aren't online, I think it would go a long way. And because people like Ryan, Jazz, they say that they want to create content, create websites and games, that would actually go a long way towards helping other people who aren't online to get them to be online. Do the students of Henderson Middle School have any questions? Do college life, about this program, about Henderson, University of Richmond. I gotta tell you that we're not very nervous to give this. I mean, I had them stand up in the beginning and kind of test out the room. They were fine. Nobody was nervous. I was really impressed, actually. I was very impressed. Go ahead, man.
How many years do you have to go to college to get a PhD?
It's probably going to depend. I was probably looked at the PhDs in the room to answer that question.
What area you're studying.
Exactly.
But it's about
Music?
music. College is 4 years, and I think my brother was a PhD in the sciences, and that was an additional 7 years after college.
It ranges depending on the subject matter. So you can go, it's frequently 4 to 7, I think, for the PhD after college.
At least another 4.
But sometimes with an arts,
Kind of degree like that, creative kind of degree, sometimes fine arts. Go a different kind of path. So there are other things besides it. A PhD is generally a research kind of degree. If you're going to do a creative kind of degree, there are other paths as well.
Because we're always looking to improve, does anybody have any suggestions or comments as to how to actually pass on computer instruction or technological literacy? Maybe different models they've seen back home, or just different suggestions that they can think of?
I'm just curious how much time you all spend in your classes. Do you have access to computers in your classrooms, and do you use them as part of your regular classroom instruction? No.
I think, Joy, you took the keyboarding class, right? Somebody had taken a keyboarding class.
I take computer.
I computer education.
Okay. What is that? What do you do in that class? You guys, somebody mind standing up, saying it to everybody here? Put it in the spot.
In technology, you type in technology, you type in a computer app, you talk about your career and stuff like
Are the programs helpful?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you have any improvements in the program? What kind of improvements needed?
Learning, like, budget and computer app, like budgeting.
So I just want to mention, at Henderson, we are 10 minutes away from a middle school called Middle School, and each of those students have their own laptops. And what we find at Henderson, or in most Richmond public schools, is that there are computer labs, but the computers are not integrated into the classroom like we would like to see. Most of the classrooms at Henderson might have 4 computers, but that's not something where the children have easy access to them, and many times that they're not they're not working. So there are labs that are set up at Henderson. There are 3 labs that are set up where teachers can actually go and take students into a project, but it's not woven into their daily learning.
So you guys wouldn't be assigned, for instance, like when you're doing a book report, everybody would do their book report as a PowerPoint presentation. They're kind of assigned like that.
And what I noticed was most of the papers that I do too are by hand. They're not written on, or they're not typed on the computer. I was mentoring a student last semester, and last year actually, and I asked them to type up part of this application as our time together got to a close. Just bring it back next to me. And Daquan was his name, and Daquan looked at me and he goes, "Dominic, I can't type." And I'm thinking, what? You're going into the 9th grade. And you're not asked to do these assignments on paper. You're not going to be prepared for what we have to do in college. Imagine writing a 24-page thesis by hand. It's really difficult to edit.
Is that computer application course mandatory for the students, or do you guys just take it home?
We get the 5th grade.
Yeah, I think it's a really important course. I know when I was in middle school, we had one computer application course that was mandatory, and it really got us all appreciating what to do with computers. career search and stuff like that. So you can take it, but it's good as well.
I'm also curious if y'all are not, if the computers are not integrated in your classrooms, do you have a chance to use them like when you go to library time? Is there any part of your day where computers are very much part of it, or do you, how many of you use computers at home? So most of you do use them at home.
But what are you using for? Facebook?
Typing. No practicing.
Another question. I would like to thank everybody here for coming. Give yourselves a round of applause, please. By taking the time to listen to these students' presentations and kind of giving them your support, you are implementing social change. I think it's the first step is actually caring and listening to what's going on in the world. So thank you. Thank you all for coming. And of course, thank you to the students of Henderson for giving your presentations.
And I'll just say this is the last brown bag that the CCE is sponsoring this semester, so please check out our website next semester. We'll have more brown bags next semester. Normally our brown bags are from 12:30 to 1:30 in this room, but we bumped it forward a bit because the students have to get back to school, so we have them an hour earlier. But normally it's 12:30 to 1:30. We'll have our brown bags next semester up by the first of the year. And any of you students who are students who are here today who would be interested in finding out more about Build It and possibly volunteering at Henderson or one of our other 5 Northside Richmond sites, you can just come talk to me in the CC. Seems like I'm all busy. Thank you all so much. Grab a piece of pizza on your way out. Thank you for coming. Thank you.